Hello and welcome back. We are happy to be joined with Jennifer Fabe and Cynthia Milburn. Welcome, guys.
Thank
you. Today you're going to be talking to us about an important topic. You're going to be talking to us about epilepsy. Just a little background in terms of each of your organizations that you're a part of.
So I'm the Executive Director of Epilepsy South Central Ontario. It is a nonprofit charity and dedicated to improving quality of life for people living with epilepsy. March is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and March 26th is Epilepsy Awareness Day. So we have many events going on in the region and in Brantford ongoing throughout the year.
Well, there's so many things that I know personally that people don't know about epilepsy. I had a nephew that was afflicted with it, and finally he did succumb in the end because of epilepsy, sadly enough. But however, his whole life he was one of the greatest athletes I've ever known. Tremendous athlete, represented the city in hockey and everything. I mean, just a great young fella, but it was just by chance. It was in his sleep.
Yes, and that's so unfortunate. That's called SUDEP, sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, and unfortunately that does happen from time to time. We call it the elephant in the room, but we do talk about it.
Yeah, but the most important thing is not dwelling on his passing, is the fact that, and what people may not know, is that someone with epilepsy, I mean, full life, better than a lot of people's lives, what they can accomplish. It's not as debilitating as some people might think, even though it is. I mean,
that's right. Yes, there's 30% of people with epilepsy are drug refractory or drug resistant, and that's where Jen comes in with what she will be talking about. And so we deal with those people and their quality of life and helping to improve that.
So the awareness campaign, what will be?
Yeah, well, okay. If everyone goes to Brantford, Zares, you'll see all the staff now all through the month of March wearing these T-shirts, and they will be collecting money at the till from the 18th to the 25th, and they're creating this province-wide Zares Epilepsy Awareness Month, so that's really exciting for us.
Definitely.
We have our Purple Gala on March 25th, which is it's our big fundraiser and the money goes throughout the whole region. And we have events throughout the year, which we do partner here with Jennifer. Maybe I'll let Jen tell us.
What organization are you a part of?
So I am Jennifer Fabe, and I work with Matthew's Friends Canada. I serve as their president, but I'm also a frontline healthcare worker. I'm a ketogenic registered dietitian practicing in one of the major centers here in the province. And so with all that experience, what we do with, like Cynthia says, about 30% of those who suffer from epilepsy will be classified as drug resistant, meaning that the medications will not work for sort of controlling their seizures, or may have a significant side effect to affect the quality of life. And so we come in with a ketogenic diet therapy. And ketogenic diet therapy is a medically prescribed diet therapy that actually switches our metabolism from going from carbohydrate-based to sort of a more formal fat-based diet, so that our brain can use fat for fuel. And it is thought that when you use fat for fuel, when it produces ketones, that it can suppress the seizures.
What is it in the carbohydrates that aren't good, that you want to limit those?
I don't know if it's anything that's terrible about the carbohydrates. I think in epilepsy, for whatever reason, there's something special about the ketones that are created from the fat that has the anti-seizure effect. But what we know with ketogenic diet therapy is that there needs to be some sort of titration down of the carbohydrate and an elevation of the fat that needs to be consistent in the therapy. And that's why we suggest it be medically prescribed and supervised, because it's not a therapy without its side effects. And so Matthew's Friends Canada raises the awareness for ketogenic diet therapy for those especially with drug-resistant epilepsy. We're there to raise the awareness across the country and to support healthcare professionals and, of course, the families that have to take on this therapy.
Outstanding. Jennifer, Cynthia, we're going to take a short break. Can you stick around for another segment?
Sure.
Yeah, we've got lots more to talk about. Hey, folks, stick around as well. We'll be right back just after this short break. Look forward to seeing you later.
Hello and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, we are here with Jennifer and Cynthia, and they're talking to us about epilepsy. You were talking earlier, Jennifer, about the different types, as you're a dietitian, you were talking about the different types of food that can help suppress the certain, what was it, the
ketogenic diet.
The ketogenic diet,
Yeah.
and to help them suppress their epilepsy. What would be some of the foods that they would be eating?
So the diet is very high in fat, adequate in protein, low in carbohydrate, and it can be titrated to a prescription that's best for their quality of life and for their seizure control. It's healthy fats that we strive for, so you can eat the avocados, the nuts, psyllium husk, flax seeds, and make various different creative recipes using high-fat foods. And then it's medically monitored, because people often ask if you have a high-fat diet. We medically monitor for cholesterol and liver and pancreatic enzymes, etc., and just to make sure that it's safely carried through. And adequate protein and carbohydrates in just smaller amounts than what we're usual. Yeah.
Now, the 30% of patients who don't respond to the drugs, the drug therapy, how do they get involved with this? Is it automatic, or do they have to search this program out?
They would need to probably information. Getting awareness about ketogenic diet therapy is very important, so that's where our partnership comes in. So they go to epilepsy organizations such as Cynthia's of Epilepsy South Central Ontario, and they can tell you where the treatment centers are in the province or in the country. Yeah. So you need to go to a treatment center, and it has to be a physician-to-physician referral to a program that has the ketogenic diet program.
Terrific.
That's
Now, Cynthia, what else? I think you have some other things that are going on as well.
I thought I'd give a few stats. So 1 in 100 people has a seizure disorder, so it's quite prevalent. And a seizure, if anyone doesn't know, or epilepsy, is a tendency to recurring seizures, and a seizure would be a misfiring of the neurons in the brain, and causing the body to act involuntarily. And seizures have varying degrees of severity, so you might just think of a convulsive seizure as a seizure, but some seizures are very, very subtle and really hard to diagnose. And as our partnership with Matthew's Friends, we definitely want our clients to access as much as they can in terms of treatment. And we do all kinds of events together, and we're doing, we had a youth and family retreat in
that's great.
last fall, and this year it's in September at Circle Square Ranch. So we will have over 100 people. It's just amazing how many people come, and they get all kinds of really good information. And we're present around the community. We are at Ribfest in the summer, and we do have a summer camp. It is run out of Mississauga all summer, but for 2 weeks in July it's in Hamilton, and the kids from Brantford can get there. We can arrange for transportation.
Now, you mentioned one in 100?
Yes.
1 in 100.
I was shocked when I heard that. I didn't know it was that prevalent.
Yeah.
Now, just for someone who doesn't know a lot, myself or viewers at home that don't know, now, is epilepsy a thing that you have from birth, or can it come on later in life, or?
Both.
Yeah.
Both?
It can be it can be onset from birth, or it can be onset any time in your life for various reasons.
Is it a genetic trigger, or can it be brought about by injury, or?
Yes and
Yes.
yes.
Yes and yes?
Yes
See,
and
this
yes.
is why we're here. We need to
Yeah.
learn.
And
Yeah.
if someone is going through, or someone is going through an epileptic seizure in front of you, what are some things that you can do to help?
Very good question.
Yes, go for it. Yeah.
I wish I got that.
We stay very, very calm. The key is to keep the person safe from injury and protect their head. And we don't put anything in their mouth, and we don't restrain the person. We just stay calm, we
So
time.
they used to say put like a wood spoon or
No, that's
Yeah,
actually
myth-
very
myth
dangerous.
number
to
one.
do.
yes?
Yeah, and if there's anything around their neck that might restrain them, you just kind of gently pull it aside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you let the seizure run its course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and not to panic. That's the big one, is for the caregivers around not to panic. Yeah.
And is it, so if they're on their back, that's okay? Like if they're having their seizure on their back, is that okay?
You should-
I would try and roll them on
You
their
try to
side.
roll them on their
Just in
side.
case.
Just in case, yeah.
That's a bit of common sense,
To
but
make sure that-
we do teach seizure response protocol.
Well, Jennifer, Cynthia, thanks so much for being on the show. I know we put all the information on the screen, and people need to know more about upcoming events, etc. Folks, we got to go. That's all the show we got for you today. Bye-bye. Love you, Mom.